All right, so when it comes to the Galaxy Fold 8, I'm someone that is a lover of Samsung's folding phones. And when I saw some of like the leaks and the rumors going into the behind the scenes event with Samsung to get an early hands-on look and all that stuff, I really was skeptical in terms of like how I thought I would feel about the Fold 8, but what I can say is that actually getting my hands on with it, spending time with the device, going through different applications, some of the agentic AI things, sifting through like email, YouTube, and the overall phone experience, what I can say is that the Fold 8 is a really compelling foldable device, and I can certainly see for a large subset of people interested in a folding device, Fold 8 actually might be the preferred option for a lot of people over the Fold 8 Ultra, as it pertains to the form factor and a couple of other things. Now, by the time you guys are watching this at all, I actually have my own devices in hand that I'm doing a lot of testing, comparisons with, so make sure you leave comments down below for me so I can see them as I'm going through my testing and get to as many of you guys' requests and questions as I possibly can. Now, the Fold 8 is really a result of Samsung looking at the broader audience and trying to assess who each device is tailored for, right? You have the Fold 8 Ultra, which is like their top premium folding phone that gives you more bells and whistles, more top-end specs and things like that. But the Fold 8 is really interesting in that it is really tailored for more of an average consumer in terms of someone who wants to sit down, have a mini tablet form factor in their hand, pay a little bit less, but you're getting a more tailored media and social media experience as a whole than what you're getting on the Fold 8 Ultra. And not because the Fold 8 Ultra is a bad device, but because the Fold 8 was built from the ground up in terms of like aspect ratio and build. Really, for those of you guys that love scrolling through YouTube Shorts, watching YouTube videos, Netflix, scrolling through Instagram Reels, TikTok, and all of those things, right? And so when you have the Fold 8 in the hand, it feels really comfortable. It really is built much more like sort of like a passport form factor that's really comfortable to hold. Also is that even though this seems like the shorter, chunkier device or chubbier device, it's actually still remarkably thin, just as the Fold 7 was and just as the Fold 8 is as well, right? And the Fold 8 getting a little bit thinner than last year's iteration, but this feels amazing. I can't imagine this form factor with a chunkiness and girth of previous year iterations of folds like the Fold 4 and like 5. But in this form factor, it's light, it's thin, and it's really nice to use. The Fold 8 is much closer to like the Pixel Fold, and what you're getting when you fold it open is that 4:3 aspect ratio, which is really, really nice for just like consuming a wide array of different content. And even comparing it directly next to the Fold 8 Ultra and the Fold 7, you see the difference. The way that like videos and your like social media feed and emails kind of fill up the display is much more in line with just having kind of like a tablet and having like a bit more of that longer aspect ratio. Content fills the screen in a more cohesive way as to what we're used to when we're using like a normal phone. It was one of those things, again, being a bit skeptical, but once I actually got my hands on it and was using it the way that it's intended, it immediately clicked. And I just had this thought that like I can see this fitting better for more people who are really, that's a part of like their normal day-to-day content consumption flow of sorts. It definitely works. I was really excited to see that I talk about in my Fold 8 Ultra video that's uploading at the same time as this one, is that they're implementing the same 3000 peak nit brightness display on the internal display, as well as an anti-reflective coating. And as someone that has used a number of foldables, that's one of those big things that like being outside, bright blue sky days, it can be hard sometimes, depending on like the orientation of the sun. When it's really bright outside, to actually see the content on your screen just because of glare and things like that. It looks great, and there was like a lot of light bleed coming in from a window directly inside of the studio, and just seeing the way that it diffuses the light a bit better than like say my Fold 7, really welcome addition that a lot of you guys are going to really appreciate when you want to go outside, touch some grass, and still use your folding phone for content consumption things. Really welcome. Now the cameras here, you're getting a 50 megapixel wide and ultra wide camera. So you're not getting the 200 megapixel wide camera that you're getting on the Galaxy Fold 8 Ultra. But I think, again, in terms of like who this fold is for, I don't think the consumers that are purchasing the Fold 8 are really going to care too much if they don't have a 200 megapixel camera on the back end. 50 megapixels for most people, and especially having a 50 megapixel ultra wide option is definitely going to be good enough. And so I can see why that concession was made. For the target audience that the Fold 8 is for, I don't think it's gonna make that big of a difference. Now, similar to the Fold 8 Ultra though, you are getting the brand new Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 Elite for Galaxy, which is a mouthful, which is really nice. You're getting that top shelf processor, which you should be for this price point, right? And you're also going to be getting that 45 watt fast charging, 20 watt wireless charging as well. Though compared to the Fold 8 Ultra that's getting a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, which I'm really excited about, the Fold 8 is going to be getting a 4,800 milliamp hour battery. I do have high hopes for this though, in that the Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 Elite, that new chipset, is going to be more efficient than previous processors. And the 4,800 milliamp hours is also still a larger battery than what we got in previous Galaxy folding phones. And so although I don't necessarily anticipate that the Fold 8 is going to be getting quite as good battery as the Fold 8 Ultra, I do have high hopes that it's still going to be better than, say, like my Fold 7, which I love this device, but this is a phone that, like, as I've talked about in previous reviews, this is a phone I guaranteed, like pretty much guaranteed, have to charge at least once per day. Hoping that's not necessarily the case with the Fold 8, and especially not the Fold 8 Ultra. Or if I do, it's like later in the day when it's not as like compelling of an issue in the midst of my day. For both the Fold 8 Ultra and the Fold 8, there has not been any like drastic improvement in terms of IP rating. You're still getting the same IP48 rating that you're getting on previous devices. And software-wise, for some of the AI implementation, their fan cam feature is really impressive, especially for those of you who are doing content creation on like TikTok, Instagram Reels with like your dances or skits and things like that. It makes it very easy to select yourself as a subject. It does a great job tracking you, and then it applies the aspect ratio that you need without you having to do a lot of the heavy lifting editing work of doing the crop and then following yourself frame by frame. It takes care of it for you. And so it's really nice being able to set your phone on like the normal wide angle, and the phone does a really great job of doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you, so it's ready to just upload and post, as well as like the agentic AI for Gemini automation as well. Really got to see that hands-on myself and how impressive that is, where basically you can look at a picture of like, say you're in France or something, you wanted to book you like a 2-3 night stay at like a 4-star hotel, and it's going to handle that entire process in the background. You could check in on it if you want to, and it's weird because you can actually like see it going through the step-by-step process, which is kind of freaky. And then like you can be doing anything else. You can be uploading videos, watching YouTube or Netflix, going through social media, and then the phone goes, hey, you're ready for checkout. Click on it, and then you just hit purchase. And you just saved like 15 to 20 minutes worth of like actually sifting through booking yourself. So you could do like other stuff that you needed to do or just wanted to do. And I think that level of your phone being able to be an intelligent kind of like robot companion for you is awesome. Jarvis is here. But as a whole, I can definitely say that the Fold 8 exceeded my expectations in a number of different ways. Actually having it tangibly in hand and actually getting to use it any way that I wanted to use it over the course of several hours was really helpful for me in terms of understanding this product, who it's for, and seeing how it works firsthand, which was really good. I have a concern in terms of like potential thermal performance. I'll talk about that in another video, but if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll get to as many of you guys as I possibly can. But yeah, have a fantastic remainder of your day, afternoon, or night, depending on the time as you are watching this. And as always, peace, love, adios, bye guys, and have a great day.